Thanks for watching this video, proudly brought to you by AN Immigration Services and Consulting. Please ensure that you watch this video at high resolution for best video quality, as we are going to walk through the application process and the eligibility criteria in applying for an extension on your subclass 417 working holiday visa. This visa lets people 18 to 30 years old, or 35 years old for some countries, have their extended holiday in Australia and work here to help fund their trip. This program is to encourage cultural exchange and closer ties between arrangement countries by allowing young persons to have an extended holiday supplemented by short-term employment, with special focus on regional Australia. The content in this video is for reference only and intended for applicants who want to apply for an extension on their subclass 417 working holiday visas on or from the 12th of April 2024. Please refer to another video if you want to extend your existing subclass 462 work and holiday visa. Please seek professional advice about the content in this video. Many hours of work have been spent on depicting the complex legislative requirements in full for this visa in a format that visa applicants can follow and understand easily and visually. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Let us be part of your journey in Australia and support you throughout this journey. Let's start. The red lines in this flow chart are answers no to the question in a decision step. Please commence from start at the top, answer the question in each decision step and follow the direction of the arrows to guide yourself through the detailed application process and eligibility criteria. There are 2 steps in applying for this visa. The first step is to submit a valid visa application. There are limited circumstances in which you can submit a paper application. If you are authorized to submit a paper application, please ensure that you follow strictly the instructions from the authorizing email sent by the department. If you submit a paper application and you do not have a dependent child, an $80 non-internet application charge is also payable. You need to lodge an internet application using Form 1150. The visa application charge is $635 as of the 12th of April 2024. Depending on whether you are applying for your second or third subclass 417 working holiday visa, you need to complete specified subclass 417 work for a total period of at least 3 months or 6 months respectively. Under migration policy, 3 months is taken to mean 88 days. Your 88 days specified work needs to have been undertaken on a full-time equivalent basis. Part-time and casual work is acceptable, but the sum total of the work performed needs to equal 3 months full-time work. We have included a link at the end of this video to a legislative instrument about specified work and areas for subclass 417 visas. There are areas of Australia which are classified for the purpose of specified subclass 417 work. That is, you need to carry out the work in the specified areas. Other than areas of work, the kinds of work are also stipulated in the legislative instrument. The different kinds of work that you can carry out in the specified areas of Australia to qualify as specified subclass 417 work are as follow: tourism and hospitality work, critical COVID-19 work in the healthcare and medical sectors, recovery work in relation to flood, cyclone or other severe weather, bushfire recovery work, fishing and pearling work, plant and animal cultivation work, tree farming and felling work, construction work and mining work. Also, the timing when you carry out those works is also important. If you apply for your second working holiday visa, you need to perform the work when you held your first working holiday visa. If you apply for your third working holiday visa, the work must be carried out on or after the 1st of July 2019 while you held your second working holiday visa or while you held a bridging visa associated with your application for your second working holiday visa. You must hold a valid passport issued by one of the specified countries or region. These countries and region, with which Australia has a working holiday arrangement are Belgium, Cyprus, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, Japan, Malta, Netherlands, Norway, Republic of Korea, Sweden, Taiwan, Canada, Denmark, France, Ireland, Italy or the United Kingdom. With the passport issued by a country, it needs to show that you are a national of that country. This does not apply if the passport is issued by the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Passports issued to British national overseas by the United Kingdom are also valid passports. A passport issued by Taiwan must not purport to be an official or diplomatic passport. An expired passport is not a valid passport. If you have lost your passport and cannot produce it on request, you do not hold a valid passport. If you do not currently hold a specified valid passport, you can only make a valid application if the specified passport expired after you entered Australia using that passport and you are currently in Australia. If you have previously been in Australia on a 462 work and holiday visa, you cannot make a valid application for this visa. You can apply for your second or third subclass 417 working holiday visa in or outside Australia. If you apply in Australia, you need to hold a substantive visa or have held a substantive visa within 28 days immediately before your application. A substantive visa means a visa other than a bridging visa, a criminal justice visa or an enforcement visa. The second step is meet all eligibility criteria. Some eligibility criteria apply at the time of application and decision, whereas other eligibility criteria only apply at the time of application or decision. We are going to go through the criteria that will apply at the time of application and decision. The specified subclass 417 work criterion will be assessed again with additional requirements. In addition to having completed specified subclass 417 work for the total required periods of time, you are remunerated in accordance with relevant Australian legislation and awards. Your work has been paid work, appropriately remunerated, with pay slips provided to the department as evidence. Additional checking is performed by your case officer checking the hourly rate of pay on the pay slips provided by you against minimum wage rates. You carried out the work not for an excluded employer. Excluded employers are those specified by legislative instrument and pose a risk to the safety and welfare of a person performing work for, or under the supervision of that employer. The passport requirement is reassessed again. You seek to remain in Australia as a genuine visitor who mainly want to spend a holiday in Australia. If you intend to abide by the conditions of your working holiday visa, including the work limitation, and you will leave Australia when you are no longer able to remain lawfully, you are considered a genuine visitor. Unless there is strong evidence to suggest that you would breach the conditions on your 417 visa, you would generally satisfy the genuine visitor criterion. You need to have sufficient money for your return airfare when you depart from Australia and for your personal support during your stay in Australia. The money for your return airfare must be in addition to the money you have available to support yourself while in Australia. Working holiday visa holders can supplement their funds through short-term employment in Australia. applicants are required to demonstrate they have sufficient money for personal support for the initial 3 months of their working holiday. Generally, $5,000 in addition to money for a return airfare would be regarded as sufficient to cover the initial 3-month stay of a 12-month working holiday. There is reasonable prospect that you can obtain employment in Australia. This requirement is assumed to be met by all applicants. You can have dependent children. However, during your stay in Australia, you cannot be accompanied by any dependent children if you are holding a 417 visa. Age eligibility is only assessed at the time of application so that visa processing time does not adversely affect your application outcome. You must be at least 18 years of age when you apply for this visa. However, there is an upper age limit depending on the issuing country or region of your passport. You must be no more than 30 years old at the time of application unless you hold a passport issued by Canada, Denmark, France, Ireland, Italy or the United Kingdom. If you hold a passport issued by one of these 6 countries we just mentioned, you can still apply for this visa if you are less than 35 years old. We are going to go through the eligibility criteria that are only assessed at the time of decision. You need to satisfy public interest criteria including the character and health requirements. Please note that with the health requirement, health waiver is not available. If you have previously been in Australia, special return criteria also apply to you. The department must be satisfied that you intend to comply with any visa conditions for the visa you are applying for. You have complied substantially with the conditions applied to any visas held by you while you were in Australia. You have not held more than 2 subclass 417 visas including the one held at the time of decision. If you are a foreign affairs student or recipient, you need to have the support of the foreign minister in your country or region for the grant of this visa. This requirement can be waived if the grant of your visa is justified by compelling circumstances that affect the interests of Australia, or there are compassionate or compelling circumstances that affect the interests of an Australian citizen, Australian permanent resident, or eligible New Zealand citizen. Thanks for walking through the application process and the eligibility criteria with us. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel so that we can provide more content to support you.